What's up, folks, and welcome to this week's episode of the Pilot Review Show. I am Captain Blade J52, and I'm joined once again by the full staff of hosts, TeacherKirby.
Yes, hey, how's it going, everybody?
And our resident console guy, Neela.
Roger Dodger, everyone.
And our man in black over there, Artie.
Hello.
Got some interesting stuff for you folks this week. Couple of interesting articles, all that stuff, so let's go ahead and get started. First, we have our ARC streaming service is now available, so if you're screwballs like us that enjoy streaming and podcasting and different things, then this is something you might enjoy. They now have Twitch capability integrated directly into ARC, so you can stream all of your games and whatnot. I personally haven't tried it yet, but may give it a shot, depending. What about you guys? Any thoughts on this?
Well, it does make it easier. You don't have to download a separate streaming software, which, I've always found the less things you have to work with to make something work, the better. So the fact that it's now integrated right into ARC, I think people that already stream will like that better. Not sure about those that haven't tried streaming yet. But it's one of those things. But definitely try it out. It says you can access by hitting the gear symbol found in the top right of your client. You'll need your stream key, so if you already have a Twitch account, you can put that in, and gives you a link to where you can get one if you don't have a Twitch account yet. And there you go.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Yep, I pretty much... It'll be nice to see once bugs and stuff get sorted out, but I did see a bug in there. Nothing major, just a small little bug with it, where the microphone would go off and on when it stayed on.
Interesting.
Yeah, from what I've seen, the people I know don't really stream, but most of the not most, but a few of the RPers I've talked to usually really had a problem with this because somewhere, somehow, it bound itself to a certain number or tab or something on the keyboard, and it always popped up whenever they're trying to type and screws something up. So, I personally, it's not really a problem. It's just like they'll be in the middle of typing a sentence, and then boom, it's right there in their face. So,
Weird.
The big thing that we just found out is just, as soon as it pops up, just click OK, and it'll never really bother you again. So, just letting you guys know about that.
Well, it does say, let's see, can activate your stream by going to the ARC overlay, Shift plus Tab. So it is possible maybe they're hitting that unexpectedly.
Most people I've known have clicked the Shift S or backspace.
Okay.
So it's most likely that like Shift and then S for stream. So I guess that's what that is.
Possibly. It might be good to go through and find what exact combination is activating that.
Right.
Sounds like a job for a bug hunter.
No. You are not giving me paperwork this early on in this podcast.
Nope. He's like, nope, that's not mine. I'm only bug hunter for Stowe. Nope, I'm not doing ARC. Nope.
We'll just repeat it again when we get to the bug hunter section.
Yep.
Yeah, they totally would. They totally would.
Yes, we would, folks.
But anyway, we'll have this in the notes for you guys, whatnot. Definitely check it out if you're a streamer. It might be something that works good for you, and you may already have a good setup you like. But either way, definitely some more options for folks out there, which is never a bad thing. Moving right along, we have our PC patch notes for the 15th. Not too terribly much, but I do see one big thing I know a lot of people have been waiting on, is that all Foundry functions have been turned back on. So not only can you now run the missions, but you can create them again, review them, all of those big things.
Yay!
Yay!
One big one for me, resolved an issue where AMD drivers would not be automatically detected. As a more technical type of person, I'm glad to see that this stuff is getting fixed and whatnot, so definitely a good thing there. But,
Yep, same. As well as I was having that issue with my AMD drivers.
Yeah. But, not a lot here, but anybody have anything in particular that's standing out to them?
Resolved an issue where Q was not sitting in his seat during the winter event.
I knew somebody was going there.
Sometimes I still see him standing.
I just
Good
want to.
job,
I just want to say this
Chris.
though. I just want to say this though. They did this. They fixed it last year, and they had to fix it again this year. So
Yes.
it's going to be broken again next year. So don't get used
Well,
to it.
we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
But good job getting that report in, Chris. We were bugging him on that one for a while.
Yeah, they were. Which, to be fair, I did turn in a report last year. I did do that, and then somebody else beat me to it this year, so they can't say I didn't do it.
Yeah, the one thing I'm really happy for is the resolved issue where new cherry apples could not be rewarded in the winter event. I can now complete my collection.
Absolutely.
Yay!
So, a few interesting things there for you guys. Like I say, not a lot to the patch notes this week. We also didn't have any patch notes for console. It was just a standard regular maintenance, so not really too much we can talk about regarding that. But
No, not so much.
anyways, I suppose we should move right along to our next big thing here. And we have the Fleet Photo Contest, and apparently they're on the second page. Now, this is something that was announced
Really?
through the forums, so there's not a official article out about it. But essentially, for your fleet, you can hopefully read that there once the stream catches up just a little bit. But anyway,
we
it
can
says,
read it in the meantime.
yeah. So essentially, you get some of your fleet mates together, you go to a fleet action queue, which is pretty much any map such as Fleet Alert, Klingon Scout Force, Starbase 24, any type of map like that that's marked as a fleet action. And you just get a good picture of you guys out there, as this says, defending the galaxy. It could be y'all dancing to
Yes.
a party ball while you're shooting at enemies. It could just be your ships flying in formation. It could be a battle shot. Whatever you can come up with, be creative with it.
Yeah, and I can only see two people that post images completely failed.
Yep.
They did nothing but just
So
picture.
Sadly, it
now,
gave me some grief.
one of the
go ahead.
questions somebody does ask, what is a fleet action queue? And the simple answer, fleet action queues are PvE or player versus environment queues that identify as that. And if you scroll through private or create private, which is the third tab for PvE queues, you'll see 3 or 4 with for both Federation and Klingon fleets. And this was by Stratken in the forum. He did edit his post to be a bit more specific later on. So Fed players, some examples are Starbase Fleet Defense, Gorn Minefield, Klingon Scout Force, Starbase 24, believe it or not, Crystalline Catastrophe,
Really?
Breaking the Planet, and the Big Dig. Yes, Crystalline Catastrophe. I was surprised by that. For Klingons, the fleet action queues are Starbase Fleet Defense, Federation Minefield, Crystalline Catastrophe, Breaking the Planet, and the Big Dig. Okay? Now, if you want to make sure you get all your fleeties in, again, you're going to have to create a private instead of going to the quick play like you usually do for pickup groups. Okay? So, but this was actually going to finish on Friday, and I'm actually very glad that they extended it until Monday, because I was actually kind of worried they weren't going to get any entries because a lot of their main player base comes in on Friday evening. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Apparently, some folks in the
So-
chat love our accents and everything, so I will take that as a compliment. But
Hey, all right.
the big thing is, well, why is this a big deal? The big thing is the people that get voted the best. There's a first prize, a second prize, and a third prize. And this is in the form of fleet dilithium. You get 50,000 fleet dilithium for first place, 25,000 for second, and then 10,000 for third. So, fleet dilithium, I realize a lot of people would rather it be just regular old refined dilithium, but even then, this is still something good to have. That's a pretty hefty chunk of dilithium, everything. So, that's definitely nothing to sneeze at. That's worth, assuming you just donated all to your fleet, that's enough credits right there to get you a tactical console from the Spire. Or perhaps get a couple of projects rolling. It just really depends on what you're going for. So,
Very true.
hey, free dilithium,
Yep.
it's nice. I mean,
Fleet
Very good.
dilithium, and this is one of the things, and as a fleet leader, I will tell you, getting dilithium donated to the fleet is one of the hardest things to get because there's so many demands on dilithium.
Yep.
Go ahead.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So I will say
ahead,
some
Neela.
of the DOFs are.
That's been...
Yeah, but usually what happens is that the fleet leader ends up having to fill in the dilithium to get the project finished. Usually the DOFs fill faster than the dilithium. At least that's been my experience.
I've actually had a similar experience to Neela, actually, with my fleet. Is usually I'll run a lot of dilithium. Of course, I've got the tunes to where dilithium, if I sit down and actually farm it, not really that much of an issue. Same thing with some of my other, co-admirals and officers. But DOF seems to
Right.
be the biggest deal for us. I can't tell you the number of times I've come on. I'll see everything's filled, dilithium marks, expertise, EC, all that good stuff. But we'll just be held up by
The
DOFs.
Yeah,
So,
Yep.
it does happen.
yeah.
Just
It does happen, I'll grant
for
you that.
both my KDF and Fed fleets. We've
Okay.
done. I've come on. And it's like, oh, really?
Really?
DOFs left?
DOFs? Yeah. No,
Let's
I know
see,
what you mean.
actually-
DOFs are pretty hard.
Okay, a few fleet marks there. I was trying to see if there's anything holding us up at the moment, but apparently I need to do some fleet mark runs later. But, anyway, go ahead and move on to our next big thing. And we have a junior officer weekend, so for our duty officer folks out there, and this is for the PC, I believe. If you're somebody that likes to work with duty officers, now's a good time to do it, getting that bonus commendation XP and whatnot. I'm personally not much of a duty officer guy, though I can stand Admiralty, which is kind of weird. But, any thoughts on the duty officer stuff, guys? Or it's for console, whichever one it is.
Yeah. Personally, I think always having, these junior officer weekends and stuff always helps because you get the extra XP, you can get the more missions done easier, and, that sort of route. So it's always a little bit of a boost, I say.
User in your channel.
Yep, and the chance to, for about 30 minutes to an hour, get enough particles in order to get, for a chance to get a very rare DOF.
Yep. And methinks
User
Kirby
entered your
exploded.
channel.
Wait. I think she's back.
I'm back.
There we go. She's back with us again.
Welcome back.
I'm back.
Yeah, and also, make sure you get your KDF DOF from the person on the Academy grounds on Chronos, and the Exocom DOF from the Academy guy on Starfleet Academy.
Ah, yes, the junior officer weekend.
Absolutely. Since you kind of exploded Kirby and everything, we've been kind of talking about that. You got any thoughts regarding the DOF weekend?
Just make sure you get your free duty officers the exo comp for the Fed and the whatever his name is for the KDF.
Kazin.
Yeah, Kazin, thank you.
Yep.
For the KDF, they both have a very nice trait, especially for DPS, which is giving a secondary reward for secondary effect for batteries. Now, if you're using weapons batteries, the secondary effect is plus 10% to all damage, which is a very good effect, let me tell you.
Yep.
And they stack 3 times. Now, you'll have to get 2 other duty officers that do this elsewhere, but, you know, those are very nice duty officers, and you're getting one of them for free. So definitely pick them up. If nothing else, they are good duty officers to run on missions, or to, or you can put them in and have them stacked. Even if you're not going for DPS, they're still good ones to have for tanking if you're going for that, because they do have good secondary effects for the tanking batteries, or for the shield battery and the auxiliary, which off the top of my head I can't remember what they are. But as I said, they are very good batteries to have, and I'm going to look right now and see what the secondary effect is.
We have a question from the chat wondering if the exo comp works well with the red matter capacitor.
It does. What it does with the red matter capacitor is it gives it gives extra power. So as much power as you get from the red matter capacitor itself, you'll get extra. You'll get plus 5, I believe it is.
Yep. Increase all power by 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how well you guys can see the photos on my screen and whatnot where it shows the effects of the DOFs, but for the weapons batteries, you get 10% additional damage. For shield batteries, it's your damage resistance by 10% gets increased. The 5 power for the red matter capacitor. Then aux batteries actually get 10 stealth and 10 sensors, and your engine batteries get inertial dampers. So that's pretty much the effects of the duty officer, but yeah. So yeah, it will work with red matter, and that's... You're breaking up pretty bad, Kirby. I think she's still there. Still with us, Kirby.
I have no clue.
I think she's about to explode.
I think she is too. But anyway, we'll have this stuff in the notes for you guys to check out. We'll go ahead and move on, and why not? Hopefully Kirby can get sorted and be with us again. But moving along, we have our next big thing, which is Tales of K-13 Part 4. So I'm guessing... Kirby says the crafted batteries are treated as RMC. Alrighty. But, anyway, for our K-13 blog, I'm assuming this is whenever they went down to the planet originally back then. I've not really had a chance to read through this one yet. Guys have any thoughts on it?
From what I was guessing, it's correlates. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you're still breaking up.
Yeah, pretty bad.
Alright, so what I'm guessing with the log is it's between, if you read the officer logs when you're going to that mission, I think this is right after they finish those logs and just go ahead and land on the planet. But I'm
Okay.
not too sure. I think it's like before they throw everyone into cryo freeze, because there's still some Klingons with them, or an Orion at least, as it says here in the story.
Yeah, I'm seeing a few of the logs in this, but like I say, I've not had a chance to read too much through it yet. Everything, I'll probably do that after this, but yeah.
Yeah, basically, what this blog was Miranda with some of her crew members.
User in your channel.
They went.
And there she goes. She finally exploded.
Yep, they went and explored all the where the civilization was, and found the couple survivors from the station that went down
User entered your channel.
before the others went into cryostasis.
Back with us again there, Kirby 1.
I'm sure.
Yep. And we do apologize, folks. It seems that a couple of us are having some technical difficulties, but it wouldn't be pilot review without somebody exploding or something, so kind of some fun stuff, I guess.
It happens.
But yeah.
But yeah,
If you're somebody that enjoys reading the RP blogs and stuff, these are definitely some good ones to read. Whatnot, this is where a lot of action actually takes place, is in these blogs. Whatnot versus necessarily so much in the game. But, yeah, like Kirby's saying, showed what happened to those that didn't stay on the station. So, if you're curious about that, that's definitely the big thing. But, anyways, we'll have this in the notes for you guys. You'll be able to check that out. But, and as you can see, it's quite a pretty good little read there. But moving along to our next big thing, this one is actually on the console. I know it says...
actually the dill mine.
Yeah. I know it says that it's the K13 holding, but since console doesn't have K13 yet, we're going to assume that was a copy-paste mistake, or just them getting their stuff mixed up. But either way, this is for the dilithium mine on the console. I'm talking about some of the special unlocks you can get, usually the cosmetic things, but since you're the console guy, Neela, any thoughts?
Not so much. It's another way for people to get fleet credits that need them to be able to get stuff once everything is all tiered out.
So, yep. And then the projects it shows
User in
will
your channel
run
timed
from 12:15 to 12:29. So you've got a little bit of time in order to queue it up. Now the big thing I will mention for the console players that the PC players are a bit more accustomed to, for these projects, if you want to do them for your fleet, the only thing that you have to do is have the project queued. You don't actually have to have it started or on cooldown. It just has to be in the queue. Even if it's the project that's going to take hold once your current one clears out, as long as it's there, it'll let you do it even after the event ends. So they don't take these projects away from you. So that's
Exactly.
that's one thing I did want to mention there, because that is a very common question that we see here. And it appears Kirby has exploded again, so we'll just keep moving and whatnot, and hopefully she'll be able to get her stuff sorted, but if not, then we'll...
Hoping for the best.
Yeah. Hoping for the best at this point, we kind of are. But moving right along to this, we have our budget build, and I believe we updated it in the notes. Yep, I'm seeing it in the notes, and it looks like Neela has for us this week a budget Carfi Battlecruiser T5U. And take it away, Sir Neela.
AKA all the windows. Who needs physics?
But yeah.
Basically, what I did was did House Pursued on KDF side 4 Mark 11 uncommon dual disruptor beam disruptors with a crit D mod. did Dust to Dust for the Cavalli Shield and Deflector. And because I had the end of it, the Cavalli ship, that's where I got the shield from. The Leech, that's either 1k Zen or Exchange, whereas KDF $10 or a quick little grind for Dill. The Zen for 1k is not that much. That's why the Leech is there. A House Pursued, 4 times for the 4 disruptive dual beams. Or if you want dual beams with an extra kick, do Ragnarok 4 times for disruptive dual beams, crit deep damage times 2. And then I did it 2 more times for 2 beam arrays, Mark 11 crit deep. Then I did Temporal Reckoning for the Template Shield Data Core. Echoes of Light for 4 disruptive consoles. No, sorry, 4 times for 3 disruptive consoles and the Nausicaan Science console. And then, as you can see, the deuterium surplus, that is from the Alhena system in the Beta Quadrant, south of Jozana. The mission is called Defense Contract. You must fly there to get the mission. Those are nice little batteries for a ship like this, and with the build with dual beams to the front, so you can always make sure your dual beams are facing the target, or you can get, say in ISA, you can get from the left to the right super quick.
Okay.
That way you're always doing damage. House Peg. There are 3 traits that you can get, but we're only going to focus on 2 of them. The Best Defense Starship trait and Personal Space for point blank shot.
It's showing
Ragnarok
here,
for the
you
trait.
didn't fill the traits in.
Oh,
Anyway.
oops.
That's all good. Got
I knew I forgot something. Oops, my bad.
I've got most everything. But yeah.
Yeah, I will go over the traits in a little bit. Ragnarok, the Triumph B console. Midnight, the Soul Defense Impulse. Only thing I spent AC on was Omnidirectional Disruptor Beam.
I see.
And if you will go to the Specialization tab, I went and I'm using the Intelligence and Strategist just for that little bit of extra damage, and the Strategist for the little bit of healing you get.
Okay.
Now, into the nitty gritty.
And then I'm guessing your space skills, we can show those off really quick.
Bridge officers. I have TAC Team 1, 2 copies of that, Beam Flight Well 2, and Beta 1 and Beta 2, which, if you want, you can go TAC Team 1, Beta 1, FA 3, TAC Team 1, or, and then another TAC Power instead of another Beta.
I would probably put FA 3 and FA 2 with the Beta 1, just so that you have, because Fire at Will is going to be where you're doing most of your damage, and so I would have 2 copies of that. Yeah,
the reason I don't need 2 copies of it is because all my cooldowns make it to where it's always up, so I don't have to click a second one. I just like the greater debuff with Beta 2.
And then I've got one guy in the chat, he's just kind of curious, is there, any reason you didn't consider running Chemocide in place of one of the tactical teams, maybe?
I was thinking about it at the time, but I'm not since I'm a science, I'm not so much for DPS from actual attack abilities. My DPS is more coming from my science abilities.
Makes sense.
And then you asked why not engineering team. Because with strategist you have passive healing as you fire weapons, and that will keep your hull up. And with your science team, you can pretty much keep your shields up, because that's with how I have all my boss stuff in DOFs. My science team 1 is always up. I don't have to wait on it to be cooldown. Same thing with hazard miss 1. That's like always up. I don't have to wait.
Yeah. If you're...
Yeah, breaking up.
Yep. And she's exploding
Yeah.
again. But yeah, it can seem kind of weird because I'm usually a tactical myself, Jazz Band, so I understand where you're coming from. It does, I mean, to me, it looks kind of weird, but like I say, I've seen his Karfi. It can very easily keep up with my tanks even. And like I say, I'm more of a tactical thing, drawing a lot of heals, multiple copies of certain things like engineering team, but the way he's got it set up, he can get by without having to use that. Then Kirby saying, are you using strategist for ability cooldown? Yeah.
Yes, I am. But I'm using that for ability cooldown, but it's more for innate healing from the strategist. Then I'm using weapon 1, it's Peta weapon 1 and direct energy mod, just for a little more kick from the dual beams. Energy siphon I use on either the gateway or the tac cube on ISA, just to get more power into my ship to send back at the cube.
So Kirby's wondering, are you running in threatening stance?
Nope. Because I'm not a tank, I'm more... I will sit there and suck you dry. Or control you.
So yeah, definitely looks like a pretty nice little solid build. Like I say, I mean, I'm not really a science guy. I mean, that's more Kirby, Neela's type thing. More of a tactical dude, so... Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty solid. Looks like you've got a good foundation and everything that people could build out into later on.
Yep, and then, like the Tiger Drift, use that on the attack cube as soon as it pops out and your team is shooting at it, because you'll see that shields just drop with a Tiger Drift sitting on it.
And then Kirby's saying that ability cooldown only works in threatening stance. I'm assuming you've got other traits that you're drawing from, Neela?
Yep.
Dogs? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense then.
Yeah, my DOFs.
Did you fill
I
out?
have
Okay, cool.
con officer. I have a con officer for tactical team and buff. Recharge time. Damage control engineer. Chance to reduce recharge time of emergency power to subsystem abilities. Additional buffs based on battery activating, which that also works for the deuterium surplus. So whatever the surplus is base, it will double that basically.
Okay.
What core engineer? Chance to temporarily improving ship power on use of any emergency power ability. So my weapon power and ox, when that goes off, is usually both at 125. and being science, you want your arcs at 125. A couple times I've made it hit 150, and that's where most of my damage comes from. Chance to reduce recharge time for deflector abilities. Now, some people asked what this really does, and that helps with energy siphon, Titan's Rift, gravity well, so you can fire those off constantly. And then the last one, the development lab scientist, recharge time reduced for science team and buff.
Okay. Pretty.
Can you know?
Still.
Little
Yeah,
spotty, but you're there.
Yeah, right. Now for the. Now talking about why I chose Deflector, Impulse, Warp, and Shield, why I did. Basically, Deflector, I did it for the improved shield healing, plus 35%. Hull restoration, hull capacity are all good, but what I did was for the 8.8 Starship Control expertise, improves control effects and resistance to it. And then the Soul Defense Impulse engines, because when I'm hit by directed energy attacks, I have a 25% chance to gain 3.5 turn rate and 0.75% defense for 15 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. And being in a ship like this, turn rate is always super helpful.
Okay.
The Warp Core, Cabali Warp Core, is for the 7.5 of my shield power to my Ox power for higher power Titan's Rift or Gravity Well. The Cabali Shield, more for the shield regen, and because of the shield regen, I normally never lose my shields at all. I think one time I had my shields go down to 25%, and then they just went right back up. Deuterium Surplus, it does 350% flight speed for 8 seconds, turn rate and turn rate strength for 8 seconds, along with the 15% defense. And with that maintenance engine I talked about, that adds another, I think, 10% to that, or it doubles it. I can't remember off the top of my head.
I don't remember the exact interaction this evening. So.
Yeah, the Trillium D plating, why I picked that was for the 7.5 of Ox power to shield power as a bonus. So that Cabali Warp Core and Trillium D, they're swapping out back and forth. So it's like I'll have 7.5 Ox power, and when I see that I have that extra Ox power, that's when I use my Gravity Well. And then as soon as I do that, that Ox power goes right back to my shield power.
Seems Kirby's still having some issues and whatnot, but
Yeah. Doing stuck in. Oh, looks like he came back a little bit.
yep.
Nope. And then I chose the science countermeasure system because I'd rather have a tougher gravity well, obviously, a science captain. And the Template Shielded Data Core, that's for the improves 20%, plus 20 exotic particle generator, improves exotic damage, and improves control effects.
Okay.
So I may not be doing my damage from the weapons, but I've had like a 21k crit with my gravity well pull off of the tac cube.
pretty good.
Nice. Very nice.
And basically my thing is, as long as everything's all pulled together, everyone else can be like, oh, let's kill everything.
See?
And the traits I'm using, I forgot to put them on there. I'm using the photonic capacitor, so I can pop my photonic fleet a lot more. Accurate for plus 10% accuracy. Elusive for defense. Fleet physicist, that adds shield healing to my side team.
Okay.
The particle manipulator from the R&D school science, I believe. Beam barrage from the R&D beam school at level 15. Conservation energy for 10% bonus damage on exotic damage powers when struck by energy damage. Astrophysicist for more exotic damage increase and improved energy and shield drain. And then that point blank shot, which the closer I am, the more damage I do with my weapon.
Okay.
And then I am going to assume that you guys have been working on your reputation. So I have auxiliary power configuration offense from Nukara. Reputation. Energy refrequencer for direct energy attacks. Heal you for a portion of the damage dealt. Persistent for more crit chance. Advanced targeting system for more critical severity. And then enhanced reading shots. That on every non-critical hit with a weapon increase critical hit chance by 1.5%, stacked into 10 times, and as soon as you get a successful critical hit, all stacks removed and you start over. That's a nice little thing because I've had it proc off the grab wall. Managing to do a lot more damage just from that.
Yeah, that's a very nice thing.
Indeed.
I think that's it.
How long the connection?
Kirby's still going roboty, but I showed the skills off that he has slotted right quick for you guys. You can kind of see there. It's Lieutenant Commander.
And the other science concept I had to mention was the Nausicaan console. That was from Echoes of Light for the Nausicaan Science console for extra disruptive damage. And I forget the other buff that had on it. I want to say it was Ox Power or something. Even more gravity well goodness.
This tune hadn't done it yet. I was going to try to pull that up for you guys so you could see it, but I don't have it yet on this tune. But yeah. With our skills, the Lieutenant Commander, scroll down. Let's see, Commander rank, Captain rank, and then finally his Admiral rank there, whatnot. Then one question I actually do have myself, but I know a
Yes.
lot of people actually like to use some of the ultimate abilities, such as the science or tactical ultimate. Is there any particular reason that you personally didn't want to go for one of the ultimates this go?
I find that for my science builds,
Channel timed out.
I'm giving up too much power to my gravity well, to my Titan's Rift, or energy siphon in order to have like a science ultimate or attack ultimate,
Makes
Which-
sense.
which hampers my DPS. Because I've had it with those two ultimates, and it drops my DPS by like 20k. Whereas without the ultimates, I'm adding that 20k back, sometimes another 10k.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But one thing I do have to say though on this build
Okay.
is make sure you practice piloting, because you'll want to make sure you keep your raw weapons in the front, which the first couple times it'll be iffy, you won't feel like you're doing that great, but after just flying around and say the defense contract mission for the deuterium surplus and flying around in that to defeat the True Ray, you'll be able to get a feel on how fast you need to go in combat, or if you just need to sit still. So, and that was my phone, so ignore
I
that.
hear Morse code. But yeah, I would say is what a couple things I do want to point out, and then we should probably move on to the next big thing. Is one of the things that Neela actually did mention for the KDF is that as far as the plasmonic leech goes, you get it off the Vandal Destroyer. That's about 1,000 Zen. So you can either grind that out through dilithium or you can pay $10. Now the reason that's a good thing for the KDF is because you only have to pay that cost once, and then you can have plasmonic leeches on every single ship that you could ever have for KDF, the actual KDF faction, and of course the KDF aligned Romulans. So free plasmonic leeches are good. But yeah. But anyway, I suppose we should move right along to our next big stuff. Everything. And I suppose that's our bugs and whatnot. So, a couple of interesting ones that I do have. Everything. We have the PS4 Shadows of the Solanae trophy glitching out, bugging out. Some folks are saying that it takes all of the lures, but if you collect them, it's not unlocking. So for our Space Barbie people, that's a big frustration, I'm sure. And yep, see what I mean? But the next big
Same
thing
here.
is the Bionti System Patrol. There's a guy in the Delta Quadrant saying that the nebulas are appearing as invisible. So that's a couple of things there that could be rather frustrating, especially if you need that for the mission. Then some folks are still having issues with the separation pets, everything disappearing, and by separation pet, that's things like the Aero Shuttle, the Aquarius Escort for the Odyssey classes, the Alachi separation ships, everything's disappearing when they're spawned and whatnot. Now, I am still working on this one. I'm trying to figure out exactly how many ships I can reproduce it with and whatnot. Everything still, so we're still working towards that. I'm sure they're aware of it by now. And then the next big thing is the 2016 decorations missing from the star bases. So some people are going in there, they're seeing their list from whenever we first got our decorations all the way up to 2015, but they're not seeing their 2016 decoration even after it's been slotted and completed. So that's some of the really quick bugs I can touch base on with everything. Again, I am still working on some stuff behind the scenes. I know I don't oftentimes talk about some of the really big bugs going on and whatnot. But the reason I do that, obviously, is because of some of the things they deal with, whatnot, and the NDA that I've got with that sort of thing. But usually for every one of these bugs that I show, there's about 3 or 4 more that I really can't touch base on until they're actually fixed or they show up in the patch notes. So, like I say, we are working on stuff for you guys and everything, the bug hunters are, and the devs are working on getting a lot of stuff fixed as well. It takes quite a bit of time in some cases.
You're breaking up.
Yeah, have I heard about something, and, yeah. Tap it out, for us, Kirby. If she can still hear me, that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I was gonna say... Oh, go ahead, Artie.
Yeah, I found a friend of mine told me a bug that apparently a few people have tried to do the winter race to get the little marks to get the green ship.
Okay.
Apparently, when they talk to the guy to start the race, sometimes it doesn't teleport you straight to the starting line, and it fails you as soon as someone else tries to talk to them because you didn't get to the start of the race, and it counts you as going off the track.
That's a big one. Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Yep, that's been around last year too. Because if 2 people go for it at the same time, it'll take usually the second person, and it'll still count for you, and then disqualify you.
Interesting. So yeah, like I say, guys, these are just some of the bugs.
Last night.
Say again, Kirby.
There was that one from last night where they wouldn't spawn opponents and something else I don't remember at all. You got the screenshot of what he said.
Yeah. Spawn opponents was around last year too.
Yeah. Not necessarily a bad thing, but you know, it is still a bug and something that needs to.
Yeah, and I also found with the not spawning a opponent, that also happens if, say, you fail it like 3-4 times. The game will be like, the game won't spawn one on the 5th time for you.
Interesting. But yeah. Say definitely an interesting collection of bugs we've got to work with and whatnot. But if any of you guys are experiencing any bugs at all, whatnot, you're more than welcome to give me a shout. You know, I'm at Darkblade JK in game. Just say, hey, you know, this is what's going on, everything. I can try to test it. You're more than welcome to give one of these guys a shout if I'm not available. They can pass it along to me and everything. But as far as our bugs go, everything, if you're... And Kirby's still exploding. But yeah, like I say, if you're experiencing any sort of bugs, I know it can be a little bit annoying for my console players out there, where you don't have your own separate forum and everything to report bugs and whatnot, but all you have to do, just come onto the PC forum, everything, say, you know, hey, I'm having this sort of bug, and everything, and your goal of making me facepalm, Kirby, does happen quite a bit. Sometimes, dealing with these guys, I'm just like, how in the world do they do this?
Shall we repeat the one that we said at the beginning?
Yeah, no, we're good. We're good.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
They would. They totally would.
And we'll do it after the end of the show.
Yeah. But, yeah, for the console players, everybody out there, just whatever platform you're on, everything, just come into the forum, say, you know, hey, this is what's going on, whatnot. Just put a little tag at the start of it, like PS4, and then whatever's happening, Xbox One, and then whatever's happening, everything. The more thorough you can be, the better. If you can get screenshots, or you can get video, that's even better of it happening, because that gives us something actually to physically look at, everything, and it helps the devs out a good bit too. But like I say, that's pretty much all for the Buggy corner this week, everything. Kirby, do you think you can hold up good enough to do the teacher's corner?
Could always type it out and have one of us read it.
User in your channel timed out. User entered.
And
Oh, no.
And, what? Hey, she's back.
Can you hear us?
Okay, so basically Kirby saying she broke down the Iconian set, discussed that a little bit in her video, everything, whatnot, so definitely something you guys will want to look at. We'll have the link to the video in the notes for you guys as well. And it looks like Artie just linked it for us, but yeah.
God damn it.
yep.
So yeah, but Iconian space set, I know I've had a lot of good luck with it. If you're looking for a pretty good little damage boost, it's something to consider. Everything, I believe the warp core is actually an amp core as well whenever you upgrade it, so it's pretty interesting stuff there. And it'll work with pretty much anything. As far as tanking goes, I would say that the Iconian set is tied at number 2 for best tank set, with the Soul Defense being the other set. Everything. So a lot of damage negation up front, not very much in terms of healing potential. But yeah. And Kirby saying she explained why it seems to be good for everything as well. So yeah, definitely you'll want to watch her video, check that out and everything. She breaks stuff down very well, oftentimes a lot better than I'm capable of doing. Actually, pretty much a lot of the times. But yeah, so we'll have that in the notes for you guys to check out as well. But moving right along to our final segment and everything, we have with Artie breaching charges. Sometimes in EC, so
User in
you're
your
storming a
channel
base
timed
with a team. This I want to hear, dude. Take it away.
Okay. Well, to start off, sometimes you're in a role-playing event and you and whatever team you're with are trying to get to an
User
objective.
entered your channel.
I'm going to use the example of a Mako team landing on a planet outside of a pirate base or something, and your objective is to capture the pirate boss of that base. Basically, what we have here is you have player versus GM versus whatever
User in
game
your
mechanics you
channel
have.
timed out.
With what we're going with, this Mako team that has to storm the base will give a more or less plan of attack between the different players and throw that at the GM. The GM will take that and throw that at whatever game mechanics we have. Say,
User joined your channel.
like using the Foundry, you can throw out some soldiers out and have that Mako team attack that group to keep on going to the objective. But what I'm actually getting to detail here is the thought process, the different routes you can get to your objective. The joke that I've made with the title of this thing, breaching charges, sometimes in EC is, yes, you could go in straight, put a bomb on the front door and go in blasting. But sometimes breaking and entering costs money if you're on private property. So, well, basically where we're getting at is when a player and his or her team does whatever they're going to do, you have to think of what the consequences could be. Say, my Mako team wants to get to that objective and there's 20 guys in the way. Well, could I go straight in and blow up the front door and just basically just go straight for the guy, or can I go around and just get the guy instead of fighting? Well, that depends on what your plan of attack, what the layout looks like. It's the whole talking with you and the GM. The GM, on the other hand, could always go, yeah, you can do that, but I will add something over there to give you another obstacle or something. Sometimes, from what I've seen, and using this example again,
User in your channel
GMs
timed out.
have, say, you have your standing army at the front gate, that's where your team's supposed to go in. Well, the GM can go, yeah, but you see a back entrance. Not many people are guarding that side, and I'm pretty sure no
User
one
entered your channel.
will sound the alarm if you go that way. Okay, so the team will decide to go which way, and depending on that choice, will change the entire event. Sometimes, from what I've seen, players kind of just go, well, it's not that far, can you just beam us straight into the compound? And the GM has to sometimes break a few rules and go, fine, we'll just beam you straight in and see how you like that. So, it always depends on how everything flows, is basically how I'm getting at. What do you guys think?
Seems interesting. Definitely
User in
both
your
ways could
channel
have the
timed out.
risks, I'm guessing, and whatnot. Could potentially beam straight into the compound, and you could beam into the middle of a bunch of guys with guns pointed right at your brains, so yeah.
Exactly.
It's like,
But
you beamed in. You're gonna die now.
Yep. Sometimes the direct route is not always the best route, and sometimes the long way around to avoid all the enemies is not always the smartest route. So,
Yeah.
it's always a pull and tug with you and the GM.
Or I also want to add for that EC part, you could always bribe a guard. Because if it's a pirate base, you know there's some weak guards that will be bribed with money.
Right.
Yeah. I could see somebody trying to bribe a guard, especially a Ferengi,
I've seen it happen, and it's funny. It works.
Wow. I really don't know what to say to that.
I really need to get myself back in RP.
Hey,
Yeah.
we welcome you to the community. Just come and join us.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty good thing you've got going there overall. Whatnot. Anything else there, Artie?
Not really, no. Just basically have fun with it, and I'll come up with something for next week.
Sounds fun. Well, that's pretty much our show for this week, guys. Everything. I know Kirby keeps exploding, so she wanted us to tell you guys goodnight and everything. But hopefully you've enjoyed our show, everything, found some of the information of use, all that good stuff. Hopefully you've enjoyed the show as well. But as always, if there's a particular budget build you'd like to see us go over and everything, if we have the ship, if we're able to do it, we'll gladly do so. If you've got a tank build, got a science build, just a general in-your-face DPS, whatever it is, we'll try to do it. If you've got something RP related, you're more than welcome to ask Artie, or consoles, you could ask Neela. We're here to help you guys. That's one of the reasons we do the show and everything. But anyways, that's pretty much all we have for this week and everything. So for now, folks, this is Pilot Review, and we are signing off.
That's all, folks.
See ya.